What was the thing about this love affair? I mean, you know, a lot of guys and a lot of women have affairs. A lot of people get married. You know, it's the love story, the story of their lives. But not many love stories come to sort of dominate the biography of a person. And yet his relationship with Josephine seems to define Napoleon. What is it all about? Just to slightly answer it, I mean, I believe that when he met her, he was very sexually inexperienced and was transfixed from there on in. Does that kind of sum up the romance here?
It's very, very complex. Napoleon, Josephine, they are the Harry and Meghan of their day. They are the posh and becks, of their day. It's a very complex time. He is, at that period, one of the most powerful men in the world. It's as simple as that. So he gets married eventually to Josephine. That marriage suffers. We can see why if we look into the news today, and I've been listening to your show for most of the day. Harry, Meghan, Kate and Will. You know, imagine being in the spotlight. Your marriage. It is going to suffer. It's going to fall on hard times, sadly.
I mean, was everything sort of being said true? I mean, was there really this sort of huge fiery romance? Did she really have a legacy of being able to do certain techniques that would leave men breathless? Or is this sort of stuff that's been added on, you know, later, so to speak, and sort of dressed up for political reasons?
Well, I mean, we're British. We were brought up to hate the French, hate Napoleon. When he was alive, you know, Napoleon was the bogeyman of the day. In 2023, standards, he was the guy who we didn't fear him, we hated him, we ridiculed him. So there is a lot of sort of misnomers about Napoleon. One of which is with his love affair with Josephine. We know he'd had affairs with Josephine. She had affairs. She had been previously married. She had 2 children before she met Napoleon. So when Napoleon married her, it didn't go down too well with the sort of Napoleon, with the Bonaparte family. Like I said, you know, he was younger, so he was her toy boy, although they seemed to get on very, very well, and for fairly, good reason, really.
And the famous Not Tonight Josephine, my reading of that was that he was going into battle the next day and he didn't want to be sexually exhausted, but we're told that he often said to Josephine, "Not tonight, Josephine," because she was so demanding in bed. Sounds like quite a passionate relationship.
Sorry, that is a huge historical misnomer, and I don't want to be the one to sort of burst the bubble.
Burst the bubble.
Not Tonight, Josephine. I think the first time we hear that is 1911 in a music hall song. So even by 1911, sort of 100 years later, we're still ridiculing Napoleon. We still do today. It's Napoleon. He was the French Emperor. Regiments in the British Army today, the Blues and Royals, they still have the French Eagle on their uniform. It's the French Eagle that they stole from Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo. They still do it today. We have this dislike with the French. So we do throw in stories about Napoleon, about his height is the obvious one, but Not Tonight, Josephine, that's sadly not.
How tall was he? How tall was he, Phil?
Well, okay, I'm a short guy. I'm not 5'8" myself. He was 5'6" or 5'6.5". However, the misnomer again with that, at the time, French inches were bigger than British. Nothing to do with
Brexit. He was quite short, but you know what, Alex? They tell me that size isn't everything.
Well, my other half is nudging up on 6 foot, and I like to think that that's a nice height. Although, I think Macron and little Rishi would probably agree with you on that.
That's right. What are all these small men? Anyway, 5'8", Phil. That's perfectly respectable. Great to talk to you, and you can certainly come again. Thank you very much to Phil Hodges.